What did Trump say to Prime Minister Trudeau during the private dinner? Tuesday, December 3, 2024, 6:30 a.m. GMT+7. After a series of statements promising steep tariffs on neighboring countries, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau unexpectedly joined President-elect Donald Trump for dinner at Mar-a-Lago. When surrounded by media questions on November 29 about how Canada plans to respond to Trump's proposed tariffs, Trudeau did not disclose his plans for a private dinner later that evening at Mar-a-Lago. However, the 52-year-old hinted at the possibility of dialogue with Trump. Ultimately, through constructive conversations I will engage in with President-elect Trump, we will move things forward, Trudeau told reporters during an event in Prince Edward Island. A surprising visit amid a tariff storm. Trudeau's visit to Mar-a-Lago came as a surprise amidst Trump's tariff storm. Earlier that week, Trump had announced that he would impose a 25% tariff on all imports from Canada and Mexico once back in office. The announcement shook Ottawa, prompting Trudeau to hold emergency meetings with his cabinet and senior officials via virtual conferences. According to Politico, Ontario Premier Doug Ford likened Trump's tariff threat to a knife in the heart from a close friend. Friendly atmosphere. Trudeau's team offered limited details about the nearly 3-hour-long dinner meeting. A statement on November 30 noted, Prime Minister Trudeau and U.S. President-elect Donald Trump had extensive and productive discussions during last night's dinner, focusing on cooperation and strengthening bilateral relations. Politico, citing a senior Canadian official, described the meeting as very friendly and positive. Topics ranged from border security and trade to defense spending and the G7. During the dinner, Trudeau reportedly pledged to increase oversight of the shared border, long criticized for being undersecured. According to The Guardian, President-elect Trump also described the conversation as productive, mentioning discussions on energy, trade, and the Arctic. We discussed many crucial issues requiring joint efforts by our nations, including the fentanyl and drug crisis exacerbated by illegal immigration, which has devastated countless lives, as well as fair trade agreements that do not endanger American workers. Trump wrote on Truth Social, "Too many lives have been lost, and many more have been pushed into hardship." He added, Prime Minister Trudeau committed to working with us to end this tragedy for families in the U.S. As of November 6, U.S. Customs and Border Protection reported seizing 19.5 kilograms of fentanyl at the northern border in 2024. The U.S.-Canada trade deficit this year stands at $46 billion, down from nearly $80 billion in 2022. According to Politico, 75% of Canada's goods and services exports go to the U.S., and a 25% tariff is expected to severely impact the Canadian economy. There's no doubt President-elect Donald Trump intends to impose a 25% tariff on Canada, Trudeau said on the morning of November 29. When he makes a statement like that, he plans to follow through. Just the beginning. Politico, quoting a senior Canadian official, noted that the dinner at Mar-a-Lago was only the start of ongoing discussions between Trump and Trudeau. The trade relationship between the U.S. and Canada is one of the most important in the world, and it cannot be resolved in a single dinner, the source said. Clearly, much remains to be addressed. A shift in tone. Historically, Trump has been critical of Trudeau. In 2022, Trump referred to Trudeau as a left-wing lunatic and accused him of destroying Canada with insane mandates over his vaccine requirements for truck drivers crossing the border. In 2018, Trump left the G7 summit in Quebec early and tweeted that Trudeau was very dishonest and weak. In contrast, at the end of the dinner at Mar-a-Lago, Trump reportedly walked Trudeau to his car and said, "Stay in touch. Call me anytime. Talk soon." Canada's Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness Minister Dominic LeBlanc, who attended the dinner, noted that the leaders discussed enhanced security measures Canada would implement. "We'll be adding resources like drones or helicopters for law enforcement and redeploying personnel to ensure the border is secure," LeBlanc told the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. The cordial tone between the two leaders contrasts with the prior exchanges, suggesting a potential reset in their relationship. Trump's new reaction to Biden pardoning his son. Tuesday, the 3rd of December 2024, 7:13 GMT+7. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has issued his strongest statement yet regarding the possibility of pardoning some individuals involved in the January 6, 2021, Capitol riots. In a recent post on the Truth Social platform, Trump wrote, "Does Joe Biden's pardon for his son Hunter include the January 6 hostages, who have been imprisoned for years now? This is an unacceptable abuse of power and injustice." This statement continues Trump's series of public endorsements for individuals convicted in connection with the riot, which resulted in 5 deaths. Following the incident, 4 police officers who responded to the attack later died by suicide. President Joe Biden's recent pardon of his son Hunter appears to have become a new justification for Trump's plans. The 2021 riots prompted one of the largest criminal investigations in U.S. history, with nearly 1.500 people federally charged and approximately 1.000 convicted or pleading guilty. The investigation remains ongoing. Last month, the FBI announced it was still seeking 9 individuals involved in attacks on law enforcement during the riots. Despite the severity of the charges, Trump has repeatedly expressed intentions to intervene on behalf of those imprisoned, referring to them as hostages and political prisoners. In March, Trump declared that one of his first acts if re-elected would be to free the unjustly detained January 6 hostages. He has reiterated this promise multiple times, including during a July speech at the National Association of Black Journalists. When asked about issuing pardons, Trump responded, "Certainly, if they are innocent, I will pardon them. However," he added cautiously, "I can't say all, because some people might have lost control." Those receiving the heaviest sentences were not only involved in violence at the Capitol but were also charged with conspiring to overthrow the government. Among them are Stuart Rhodes, founder of the far-right militia group Oath Keepers, and Enrique Tarrio, leader of the Proud Boys, an organization labeled as neo-fascist and advocating political violence. U.S. preparing $725 million weapons package for Ukraine. Tuesday, December 3, 2024, 5:35 a.m. GMT+7. 2 U.S. officials have revealed that a new $725 million weapons package is being prepared for Ukraine, including counter-drone systems and ammunition for the High-Mobility Artillery Rocket System, HIMARS. However, they did not confirm whether the HIMARS ammunition would include Army Tactical Missile System, ATACMS, missiles, or HIMARS system participating in our NATO exercise in Latvia on September 26, 2022. Sources indicate that the new military aid package signals the possibility of introducing more long-range weaponry to the battlefield. The U.S. officials, who spoke anonymously ahead of the official announcement of the aid, refrained from confirming whether HIMARS ammunition would include ATACMS, which Ukraine has repeatedly requested from the U.S. to strike targets deep within Russian territory. The package will also include a significant number of anti-personnel mines. President Joe Biden has pledged to allocate all military aid funds approved by Congress earlier this year to Ukraine before his term ends on January 20, 2025. This includes approximately $7.1 billion worth of weapons drawn from Pentagon stockpiles. Russian officials, meanwhile, have repeatedly warned that supplying weapons to Ukraine hinders conflict resolution efforts and directly draws the US and other NATO members deeper into the conflict.